KwaZulu-Natal MEC for Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs, Siboniso Duma, has marked his first 100 days in office by meeting with CEOs in the KwaZulu-Natal province. Duma has also urged the private sector to work with government entities in rebuilding the province's economy. He had an engagement with CEOs in the province with the chief executive officers of the provincial government entities in Durban under the theme, A Destination Province for Inclusive Economy and Catalyst Capital Investments. He joins us now with more on this. A very good afternoon to you, Mr. Duma. Thank you so much for your time. I see it's been 100 days and you've been hard at work trying to find ways in which to boost KwaZulu-Natal's economy, which has suffered badly and immensely. Looking at the impact of the July unrest and the deadly April floods, quite a lot has been on your plate. Talk to us about some of your interventions.
Good afternoon, Mpo, to your viewers as well at home. I think it's a good Sunday today because I think some of us are coming from church. I'm sure we're all aware right now that almost the entire global village suffered COVID-19. So for us, there were atrocities like the issue of July unrest. There was the issue of floods as well that took place in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. So we're trying to balance all those issues. We just went straight on the ground, met stakeholders. Then we had to, on Saturday, meet all the CEOs just to give them the proper vision of what should be done on the issue of ensuring that pay all the service providers within 30 days. Just make sure that you prioritize Africans in their majority, because from time to time there will be that complaint that we seem to be focusing on those who are already made in the industries, then they are not prioritized. You know, there is an issue of Itala, there is issue of broad fund that must also assist when it comes to because we want to change the ownership patterns in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. On the same bread, enticing the current investors to invest more in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. We think the material condition is okay. We think we are the province with a lot of possibilities. Then there are protection when you invest in the province of KwaZulu-Natal.
So in looking at some of your challenges, I mean, tourism formed a big part when it comes to sprucing up and driving the economy within the province. What have the other challenges been, especially looking at the polluted water in parts of KwaZulu-Natal?
In the issue of water and sanitation as a matter in South Africa becomes both the inhibiting factor and something that must be addressed. I'm sure you know at eThekwini in particular that they've been bursting pipes. Then they had to undergo the process of buying or implementing the aquatic pipes. At eThekwini currently the beaches have been affected and the E. coli levels are high, and we have construction that is taking place on site that to address all those matters. It is the reality that we still have to improve on the issue of dams. We have to improve in ensuring that our rivers remain clean so as to attract more tourists. We are comfortable at this point in time that we are working well with municipality. Just for instance, go to Mukhanyakude district. The mayor has just recently acquired the license. So it means that people in Mukhanyakude will get clean water. At eThekwini, as I've already indicated, that there are projects. We've just relaunched Toyota, but we still have to sort Umlazi Bem. Umlazi River had to be sorted at Okwini. Umkomazi Dam is going to be starting the construction next year. So there are those things that are giving us the leeway and the scope of people to be understanding that come December, some of the projects will have started, but come next year, a lot of investment in terms of catalytic projects have been approved, in particular at eThekwini municipality. So we are at that point in time that we are still maneuvering in ensuring that almost all the districts are developed thoroughly. There is an eastern seaboard that is going to be covering the length and breadth of Uku and Herigwala. So there are new inventions that are identified in the province of KwaZulu-Natal and giving us the platform.
With the upcoming December holidays, do you think that they could be adversely affected in terms of the province's economy, looking at the state of the beaches, for instance, which has been known, of course, to be a huge factor in driving tourists to the province?
But we must also take into cognizance that KwaZulu-Natal is composed of Drakensberg mountain, beautiful mountains. KwaZulu-Natal is composed of different game parks. Hluhluwe game parks, for instance, has been attracting investors, attracting tourists for quite some time. We are currently have reached 4 million in this process before December, and we are anticipating that we might surpass the 6 million that was achieved before 2019. So we are comfortable. When it comes to eThekwini or the coastline, we currently have 900 kilometers coastline. It is the reality that in eThekwini there are those challenges. So we do have beaches in Kosi Bay, there is Oko District, markets and Sandwich and all those things. So our beaches in some other municipality, in Lembe district, are okay. Go to Umhlatuze as well, things are okay. It is only at eThekwini where the E. coli level has been high, and it has been heightened around some areas. That is why we're saying that there is construction that is taking place. By the end of November, we should be finished with the implementation of the construction. So by 1st of December, we'll be going and relaunching almost all the beaches, and the status quo, I think, will change. So we are saying that they must come to KwaZulu-Natal, experience nice swimming processes around our beaches.
If you could please perhaps indulge me and switch your cap to the ANC KZN chairperson hat. Today is D-Day for President Cyril Ramaphosa to, essentially make his submissions on the Phala Phala debacle. You have, on previous occasions, revealed that the provincial party could back Ramaphosa for ANC presidency. Looking at the state of affairs, as you and I speak, with today being the deadline, what are your expectations on that front? And perhaps just bring us in your confidence.
In KwaZulu-Natal, the branches in their majority nominated Comrade Zweli Mkhize to be the one who must lead the province going forward. But we've been saying from different platforms that we want a united ANC. Ours is not fixated in particular to the contest, but broadly more on who's going to bring the stability on socio-economic matters. So we are at that level of ensuring that, just ensure that we've got a proper banking sector, create a state bank in South Africa, who's going to ensure that we address the issue of land in particular. We are looking for those. And at this point in time, the economic outlook has been affected by different means like COVID, as we've already affected. Who is going to ensure that Africans in their majority are given more platform to trade and are involved in the entire value chain? So that is where we're affected. We are going to change policies that must broaden the scope of ensuring that those who are even coming, the emerging of construction processes, the retail, agricultural specialists must participate, and even in tertiary institutions, just make sure that those people are given a space in their majority so that we can change the economy. As we speak, the ownership pattern is very skewed. Only those who are regarded as a have are the one dominating. So that must change. That is what we are advancing and lobbying and advocating as the province of KwaZulu-Natal.
With the KwaZulu-Natal constituting the party's biggest voting delegation when it comes to the reputation of the ANC and, of course, looking at the effects of Phala Phala, do you think that the dent is severe?
I think we are level-headed as the province. This thing of numbers of delegates does not automatically that we must bully. We are saying that we must lobby and advocate for ensuring that there is stability for 2024. So the issue of corruption should be addressed. The issue of ensuring that ANC must also make sure that you attract more people who must join the organization, attract more people towards service delivery so that those who have not been voting for us or decided to stay at home, come back. ANC is your home. It is the only vehicle that is going to liberate Africans in particular. We are just currently saying that comes December, KwaZulu-Natal as the province, our numbers, we are going to utilize it to such an extent that something good in terms of economic outlook must come, as opposed to be saying that because of numbers we must get this. We are not currently saying that, which is why we've been crisscrossing other provinces, make sure that we are talking with them, understand that what is currently needed for 2024. When comes the electoral system, the issue of us going back to basic, building strong branches who are going to be the agent of change, that's what must be done, or what must happen as well on the ground. The issue of service delivery must be identified. Even key weaknesses that is currently taking place in our municipality must be identified by our branches. So that's the message. That's what will be advancing towards the 55th National Conference in December.
Now, perhaps just expanding on that, as we talk about what is happening on the ground, we have seen a report that speaks to the concern around the killing of councillors speaking themselves to the issue of not feeling protected enough, ventilating their frustrations and concerns around security, and not really getting those that backing from the police. What are your thoughts around it? I mean, that report really reveals the reality on the ground and the fears around the political nature of being a councillor.
We are working together closely with General Provincial Commissioner Obabum Corners in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, because we wouldn't want to be characterized as the slaughterhouse. And we are creating awareness in our communities that if someone is identified and elected to be the proportional rep or the public rep, must be given a chance just to make service delivery be tangible. Automatically, this does not make that person a victim or someone that must be an enemy. Our councillors must be protected. They must enjoy the freedom as well. But the reality is that in our municipality, I don't think there are adequate resources to protect all our councillors, which is why at this point in time we're saying that South African Police Service working together with other law enforcement agents, but guided by the society. Because in the past, you will know that our communities are the one that are going to lead the pack in ensuring that our councillors are protected. It's the same with schools or infrastructure. If you are building schools, it is the community that must protect the schools. If you build the clinics, it must be the society that must protect the clinic. It's the same with human settlements, the whole. So we rely on the strength of the society to defend our councillors, because at this point in time, there is vulnerability, and we must just restore the dignity amongst our communities and amongst our people.
Very well. Let's leave it there for now. Thank you for your time, Siboniso Duma, KZN MEC for Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs, and of course also speaking in his capacity as ANC KwaZulu-Natal chairperson.